Welcome to today's China Uncut. I'm Jennifer Zheng, bringing you powerful stories you won't see on state-run media, from Xi Jinping's mysterious reappearance to signs of a surging COVID wave, to the hushed farewell of a former top general. Each headline peels back the layers of secrecy inside the Chinese Communist Party. Let's get right into it. CCP's leader Xi Jinping has reappeared in public after nearly 2 weeks of absence, meeting Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko in Beijing on June 4th. But the meeting has raised more questions than answers. Unlike previous formal state visits, this time Xi hosted Lukashenko inside Zhongnanhai, China's top government compound, rather than the usual state guest house. The Chinese state media Xinhua only published a brief report without photos at first. Belarusian state media broke the news and released images showing a casual meeting, one-on-one talks, and a friendly lunch. Lukashenko said, "You invited me to your home," highlighting the personal setting. But experts are skeptical. They point to missing high-level officials like Xi's chief of staff, Kai Qi, and the absence of the usual welcome ceremony. Some analysts believe this family-style visit was staged to cover up deeper issues within the CCP leadership. Commentators suggest Xi may no longer be in full control or is only symbolically fulfilling his role. One observer said, "There's a higher power behind the scenes. Xi may just be playing a role now." With rumors swirling about power struggles inside the Chinese Communist Party, this unusually private meeting only adds fuel to the speculation. Is Xi Jinping still calling the shots, or is someone else pulling the strings behind Zhongnanhai's walls? Former vice chairman of the CCP's Central Military Commission, General Xu Qiliang, once the second most powerful figure in the Chinese military, has reportedly passed away under murky circumstances. Despite his high rank, there was no official obituary or public memorial service. Instead, Xu's memorial was quietly held at his former residence in the eastern section of the Air Force compound, an area known for housing senior military officers. Photos from the scene show funeral wreaths sent only by former colleagues from the Air Force. Notably, no current top military leaders appeared to pay their respects. Xu Qiliang was a close military ally of Xi Jinping and served as vice chairman of the Central Military Commission for a decade. Together, they spearheaded major military reforms, including restructuring the rocket force and the Air Force. Observers say the low-profile, almost dismissive farewell suggests Xu was no longer regarded as one of the CCP's own. Exclusive images of Xu Qiliang's memorial in this report were released by former Chinese journalist Zhao Lanjian. With rising U.S. tariffs, Chinese e-commerce giants like Temu and Shein are turning their sights to Europe, but as they push westward, they're hitting a wall of regulation. Temu, Shein, and TikTok are pouring money into European promotions, offering shipping subsidies and seller incentives, mirroring their earlier U.S. strategy. Advertising in Europe has surged. Temu's ad volume in April and May grew 12-fold year-on-year, but European markets are proving far more complex. Sellers must navigate strict consumer protections, VAT, or value-added tax registration in each country, product labeling in multiple languages, and ever-changing safety standards. Some Chinese merchants say they'd rather stick with the US, despite slimmer margins and higher risk. Meanwhile, data shows US consumers may already be pulling back. In late May, Shein's sales dropped 16% year on year. Temu's fell nearly 19%, and average product prices on Shein surged over 20%. In Europe, regulators are cracking down. The EU is formally investigating Temu for potential violations, while Shein faces accusations of fake discounts and misleading sustainability claims. Inspections show 95% of products from Asian platforms failed safety standards. Some laser pointers exceeded legal power limits by 300 times. The EU is exploring new rules, scrapping the €150 tax exemption for small packages, mandating digital product passports, and launching AI tools to catch harmful goods. In the UK, concerns about tax evasion and unsafe imports have led to new requirements. Platforms must collect VAT and sellers must prepay taxes at shipment. Still, for many Chinese exporters, the US remains the priority, at least for now. Industry leaders say everything depends on the next tariff hike. If US duties exceed 54%, profits vanish, and so might the Chinese presence in the American market. China's COVID-19 infections are surging again. According to the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the country has reached its first significant peak of infections this year. In a report from state media China National Radio on June 5th, CDC researcher Liu Qiang stated that since March, COVID-19 cases have been steadily rising and are now at a phase high level in 2024. While some provinces are beginning to see a decline, others remain elevated. The CDC also noted regional differences. Southern provinces are seeing higher activity levels than northern ones. Vulnerable populations, including children, the elderly, and those with chronic health conditions, are being urged to take extra precautions. On June 5th, hashtags related to the rising COVID trend drew attention on Chinese social media. Users shared personal experiences ranging from mild symptoms to multiple reinfections, with some expressing concern over long-term effects like memory loss or cognitive fog. One user said, "This is my third time testing positive. I'm seriously worried my memory is going before my grandma's." Another described fainting in a hospital treatment room and being told their case was too severe to go unaccompanied. The CDC says the virus remains active and won't disappear anytime soon, urging the public to stay vigilant even as the summer months begin. A massive anti-corruption storm is sweeping through the CCP's banking system. Since the start of 2024, nearly 100 high and mid-level executives have fallen from grace, with all 6 of China's state-owned banking giants now implicated. According to public data from the CCP's top anti-corruption bodies, at least 63 individuals from the banking sector have been investigated so far this year, including vice presidents and local branch managers. The sweep cuts across policy banks, regional commercial banks, and rural credit unions, spanning over a dozen provinces. The Big 6 state banks, including the Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, China Construction Bank, and Agricultural Bank of China, account for 34 of the cases. Experts say this isn't a targeted strike, but a full system purge. The campaign, dubbed a vertical sweep, is reshaping China's financial leadership. Insiders reveal that risk control and technical expertise are now prioritized over political ties. In April alone, 7 executives were probed from the Henan branch of China Construction Bank, including former President Shi Tingfeng, who had long held key posts within the system. Meanwhile, policy banks like the Agricultural Development Bank and regional lenders in Guangdong, Sichuan, and Shandong are also under intense scrutiny. Some executives reportedly funneled illicit funds overseas to buy properties in Japan and Australia years ago, many now under border control restrictions. Analysts believe the campaign is part political cleansing, part preparation for a larger financial restructuring. The ultimate goal to contain systemic risks and reassert Beijing's grip on capital. As the Communist Party pushes forward, observers say this is only the beginning of a much deeper financial realignment in China. Thanks for watching this special edition of China Uncut. If you found these stories revealing, make sure to like, comment, and share this video. It helps more people see the truth behind the headlines. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Until next time, stay informed, stay sharp, and stay free.